It's time for the Instigator, the in-your-face hockey podcast that is loaded with controversy and criticism. This hockey talk rant will spark your hockey thoughts and opinions. When controversy happens in the hockey world, the Instigator is there to fire off their opinion. You may agree, but you just might wholeheartedly disagree. That's what brings you back. Get ready for in-your-face hockey talk and controversy. The Instigator is hosted by Burud and is a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio.
Good evening and welcome to The Instigator, episode number 47. Recorded on December 9th, 2020. I am the host of the show, Brad Burud. Good to have you with us as we're talking CBA 50-50 splits and how in the hell are the players ever going to pay back the owners? Now, no agreement is in place financially yet, but it looks like we will have hockey on January 13th. They've set the finances aside for the time being, and we'll see how that works out. I don't think that that's fully solved. But anyways, it looks like January 13th, we will get hockey. No fans, drastically reduced revenue. Players do not want their escrow to go up. So how in the hell are the owners going to get paid back in 6 years? That's today on the Instigator. A big thanks goes out to our sponsor, Raise Energy. I've got mine ready to crack it open. My favorite flavor, Voodoo. Love that flavor. Energy all day, no crash. That's Raise Energy. Get it today. Rep Sports. Type in the promo code Instigator. Get yourself 15% off your purchase.
Inside Edge Hockey News. Dropping the gloves. And stirring the pot.
All right, hockey fans, it is good to have hockey back. Just about a little over a month away, and we'll have the drop of the puck on the 2020-2021 season, as crazy as that sounds to say. Looks like a 56 game schedule, so we're happy about that. Canadian division looks like it's in place. I don't know, that's going to be crazy, but there's some problems. Now, the owners and the players could not agree on what they're going to do financially. There is some problems with that. And it's partially on the owners and it's partially on the players. Now, it is a 50-50 split in the CBA. But the owners did put escrow caps and agreed to that. So I believe they have to stand by that. But in the end, they are going to have to get paid back from the players. So how in the world is that ever going to happen? When you look at no fans, a TV contract deal that's going to have to be truncated because there's less games, we still have travel, which the league is doing a wonderful job with reducing that travel, playing within division, having 2-game series, it sounds like, which I am more than stoked to see. I think that's going to be off the charts good. They are doing things to try to reduce costs, but inevitably traveling with an NHL team costs a shitload of money. Well, the players want their full salary for 56 games. I don't know how that'll ever go through. Well, if it does, I don't know how the owners can afford to have it go through. Now, the fans often side with the players and say, well, they need their money. And yeah, I want the players to get the money. They're the ones that we're paying to watch, right? And those are the ones that we're cheering for. But we can't lose sight that if we don't have strong ownership groups, we don't have a strong league, and we're not able to create more revenue to pay the players more. It is a give and a take. Now, unfortunately, we live in a world where people like to shit on people who make a lot of money. So these owners who make a lot of money often get criticized by the fans because, oh, well, they're just billionaires. They should be able to afford it. Well, don't forget that many of these guys, well, all of these guys did not make their money on an NHL team. They made their money in the business world. So what's going on in the business world in Canada and in the United States? It's in the tank. It's horrible. When you're in the middle of a pandemic, it is hard to be financially stable. So the owners aren't making their money in what they normally do in their everyday business, which is going to affect how they're able to afford to supplement their National Hockey League team that's going to lose upwards of $60 to $80 million this year. Now, I don't care how much money you have. When you're losing $60 to $80 million, it's a big deal. And now, when you think about it, what about how many owners can't afford to do that? And how long can they sustain that? And will they ever make that back? So will teams fold? Which in turn would be loss of jobs for the National Hockey League Players Association, which they sure as hell wouldn't like, and the league wouldn't like the look. But that could be a factor that comes out of COVID. And a lot of people aren't talking about that. But I don't believe that it's not a realistic problem. Now, according to multiple sources, the players were willing to defer some money in exchange for considered meaningful concessions. Well, the owners didn't like that. And the players wanted to slightly raise the salary cap in years to come, which they can't do that and still get money back to the owners. So both the sides couldn't come to an agreement on this. So they set it aside, and now they're going to get the non-money issues of starting back up taken care of, which is probably a smart thing to do. But when we hear a start date of January 13th, we all automatically get pumped, and I'm not trying to drag people down, but that's not a guarantee that we're going to get hockey for two reasons. What happens with COVID, and what happens with, we still have to get the finances of this worked out. Now, it sounds like the owners are caving more than the players, which is a good thing if you're a big market team, I guess, but it's not a good thing if you're the Arizona Coyotes. I'll tell you that right now. January 13th is the target date. But you look at this escrow, and with the new agreement, escrow would be capped at 20% next season, which it sounds like it's going to be 34. Again, not determined yet. And then between 14 and 18% next year, it would go down to 10% in 22-23 and 6% for the remainder of the 6-year deal, with a 1-year provisional extension to 25-26 to make sure the players get the owners paid back within this CBA. With those caps and with revenue set to be what it is, and the millions and millions of dollars the owners are going to lose this year, how on God's green earth is this ever going to get paid back in 6 years? If the owners agree to this, they are pretty much in concession that they're not going to get this money back, and this is going to be money out of their pocket, not the players, which in turn doesn't make this a 50-50 split, and in turn doesn't make this CBA held up to be what it was originally agreed upon. Now, many fans were saying, well, the owners agreed, they signed. Yes, they did sign, but they also signed that in 6 years, it would be back to 50-50. It's not going to be with these escrow caps. And now the players that are veterans now don't care, because they're going to be out of the league. They're going to get their money now, hit the road, Jack, and they're going to screw over these young players who in year 6 are going to have to pay, God knows, 60-70% escrow, which they'll never play for that. You know that'll never happen. And the owners are going to be left holding the bag on this one. I can almost guarantee it. It'll be interesting. No, I know I want hockey back as much as anybody does. I'm the hugest hockey fan in the world, and I can't wait on January 13th to sit down, pour myself a cold one, and watch a hockey game. But I also agree that a deal's a deal. And when we get to 50-50, and yes, there's escrow caps, but if you know you're never going to get there in 6 years, you're not really holding up to your end of the deal either. Now, the owner should have never signed that escrow cap thing. I agree. But this is a problem that's not going away, and I hope that it doesn't hold us up on hockey this season.
Raise energy.
Raise energy.
Raise energy
Is better than any other energy drink out there.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Wow. That's my favorite one.
it tastes bomb.
Really good.
0 calories,
0 sugar.
0 carb.
no crash. What? I'm serious.
You're not gonna get that crash.
I did not feel a crash whatsoever.
I'll drink it, I'll kill my workout, and I'll go back and I'll kill the rest of the day at work.
It's not too carbonated to where right after I'm burping up a storm.
Not just great for staying up late, staying to finals. I'm about to go work out.
Felt good energy-wise. I was still hyped from the raise. I'm loving it, man.
Get connected. Inside Edge Hockey News can be found on Twitter at Inside Edge Hockey. You can also check out the Facebook page, Inside Edge Hockey News. Check out host Brad Burud on Twitter at Brad Burud. And if you like what you hear, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Check us out on all major podcast players, and consider subscribing to the Inside Edge Hockey News on Patreon.
Thanks for listening to The Instigator. Check back for future episodes or download the show on your favorite podcatcher. Keep up to date with all the hockey news at Inside Edge Hockey News. And check us out on all forms of social media. Until next rant, take care and enjoy the hockey action.
This has been a production of Inside Edge Hockey News Radio, copyrighted and distributed by the Inside Edge Hockey Media Group.